All right, let's take a look at Project 1. This is the Symposium Booklet. SVSU, from time to time, holds a science and engineering symposium on campus. When they do, they make a booklet. The booklet explains what projects are on display. The students are the authors, and there's a description of every project, the advisors, the faculty members that have advised them through the process, and and it's all organized by time, location, and stuff like that. So maybe let's start by looking at actually the original file. Currently, we're looking at some student work here compared to, get this, the original. Okay. Hello, switch over, please. Thank you. Okay. So yes, believe it or not, this is the original document. Please show up in my lifetime. All right, good. There's the cover. Fabulous. I'm not requiring a cover. In fact, I'm going to ask you to wait and hold on the cover unless you have a lot of time at the end. Don't worry about the cover. Don't worry about a table of contents. Don't worry about this part. Right here is where you're going to start. I want you to work with the main titles. That's what I call these, as well as the units. That's what I call this part. This gives me a number, a title of the display, the author and advisor, as well as a brief description. And that pattern follows again and again. Number, title, author, advisor, description. And we go on and on and on until we get to another section. So I call these the main titles, as it just keeps going through until we find another main title, and okay, you get it. And you can see with a little bit of effort and talent, we can turn this rather bland document into something much nicer. So here's the work of a student. This is how they, I don't know what's wrong with my screen right now. It's all going black. Come on, hurry up. They approach the main title like this. It gave it its own page. And then the unit, they separated the number, title, author, advisor, and body copy. And then just follow that same pattern again and again. They've decided to keep one unit per page. And also, it's interesting, they always introduce the new section on the left. So if there is empty space, they just let it be, which is fine. And they introduce the next title. Okay. If you are going to include imagery, this is about the maximum that I want. I particularly don't want any images of test tubes or microscopes, or I don't know, anything that you want to, atoms, associate with science and engineering. Instead, I want you to focus first and foremost on the typography. And what I want you to learn about this is focal point, rhythm, and hierarchy. So ask yourself, where does your eye go first? Well, probably to the point of most contrast. The darkest dark to the lightest light. That's probably this. And it's also by size. You could say, this is a pretty quick, pretty tough contender for that. And, okay, fair enough. But then once we get past these two, then we're going to go to this, which will lead me to that, which will lead me to that, down, down, down. So this is a really good flow. Very clear flow. There's no question about it. Particularly when the design elements kind of point me right to where I'm supposed to be looking. And as I read it, the next design element, this block, this takes me over to the number, takes me to that, down, down, down. This has really good eye flow. All right. So let's go back to the web page that I'm going to share with you that has all this information and files for downloads, etc. So again, we're working on the Symposium Booklet. Our objective, to help you build your use of InDesign layout skills by challenging students to orchestrate complex amounts of primary and secondary information, in this case, sections, and then all the units that fall under the various sections. And it gets a little more complex when you include secondary section titles, etc. We might take a look at those later. Okay, an overview. We're going to create the interior pages of a full color booklet that uses all of the supply text. Now, I am supplying you a template. You can download that right here. This template has all the supplied text, and it is at 40 by 51 picas already. So it's just slightly smaller than a 8.5 by 11 page. It is folded in two, but so it's already there. The text is already there if you choose to use a template. You could make your own file and grab the text from there and put it in if you want to. That's fine with me too. And you can orient the page horizontally or vertically. You know, you don't have to, like, let's see. This is set up as vertical, and so is the other example. I do have more examples that you can download. Come on, screen, please. It's not that hard. Okay, I must be running out of juice here. This is also set up vertically. All right. But if you want to see the student examples right here, you can download that zip file. I got like 3 student examples in there in the original. Okay. So going back to the overview, you're going to design the pages into a conference booklet based on your chosen theme. Be alert to your layout choices, making sure you maintain excellent balance and hierarchy. All right, in order to eventually move to the computer for this project, first we're going to do some things by hand. And this is true of all the projects. One of the things we're going to do is identify the main target audience, try to think about them and how to appeal to them. This will help choose our colors and typeface styles, etc. And we can do this, and we're going to do sketching of some ideas. We can do that all through the concept sheet. You can download this concept sheet by clicking on this or right here. And let me show you what the concept sheet would look like. I do think I have it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Okay, I must change the name. So, that's all right. Even if I change the name, I could still find the file. There we go. So I'm going to ask you to fill in the target audience. And so ask yourself, who comes to an SVSU Science Symposium? It could be the students, right? Could be their parents. Could be the general public. Maybe small business that has interest in hiring somebody with these skills. Could be faculty. Could be administration. So think about, out of that, who do you want this booklet to appeal to the most? Is it parents? Is it other students? And then who becomes the secondary target and the tertiary target? Make sure these, if you use all 3, add up to 100. For example, 90, 5%, 5% equal 100. So, and you can describe the target. You know, these are students, ages this, both male and female, blah, blah, blah. So that's going to help us understand who we're designing for. And that's going to help us figure out the tone and manner. In other words, a personality to your booklet. Is the booklet going to be clever, untamed? You know, what's its style like? And then visual tools are design principles, things that you learned in 2D, things like hierarchy, focal point, uh, you know, all these simple balance principles that are just going to apply to everything you do. And then here I'm asking for your sketches. So consider this the left page, the right page, sketch out your ideas. Do you want to use this whole page for your main titles? Or do you want to stick your main title right up here and say a block and then put a unit underneath it and another unit underneath it? Or you're going to make this a really big main title and just one unit over here. And let's see. I'm asking for 15 sketches, and one spread is one sketch. So this is one spread right here. So at least 15 of these as you explore. And you may want to read through the document first before you do these sketches, so you know what you're sketching. I just don't want lines on a page, you know. Right. And of course, grading will be based on your composition of individual pages, experimentation of layout choices, your ability to follow instructions, your craftsmanship and presentation. And key to this assignment is arranging the primary and supporting text. And remember, illustrations and display type should not be used. So display type is heavily stylized type. I'm going to encourage you to go to Google Fonts for your type. Let's just look at that now so you know what I'm talking about. What I call classifications, Google Fonts calls categories. Personally, I think there's a few more than what they have it down to. But let's say, in my opinion, if I was working on this, I would probably go sans serif. It would feel a little more modern, a little more current. We could put, some specific text in here if we wanted to. This to me would it's kind of pushing over to display. So is that one. I guess I would let those both slide if you so chose them. One thing I would also do is choose the font properties. You want a large number of styles. In other words, a large family. You want something, well, maybe with at least 10. So here's Roboto. If we go there, when I say family, you can see it goes from thin, weight, all the way to a black. So it just gets heavier and thicker. That'll give you some beautiful options. You don't want something that just has 2 or 3 because you can't make a lot of contrast and variation in your document that way. As I would encourage you, probably stick to one typeface. You might be able to pull off 2, but I think it would be wise just to use one typeface with a very large family. So let's say that's Roboto. There, and you can see you have a full range of glyphs, so that would work very well. I'm going to go back over here, and now that I've shown you the my concern about typefaces and not using display type. All right, the final work due is the PDF of your completed Symposium booklet. I'd like you to place that on the graphics server. I'll put a link there for you. You can just click on the graphics server. There you're able to go and upload your file. So I guess I'll show you that really quickly. Let's just go to SVSU real quick. The graphics server is here referred to as network drives. You'll come over to departments, and these are big servers on campus where we can store files. What's nice about them is you can be on campus or off campus and access them. The one you want to access is graphics for the graphic design program, and you want to go to class files and then student turn in and then Johnson and then typography, and then in this case you'll be turning in your project 1, so go to project 1, and then I'll have to clean these out, these are from last term, and then you'll just simply go upload the file right there, and then you can choose your file, browse, and it will load it into this folder that's open. It'll give me a timestamp so I know when it was uploaded, and I can see that I could check this from anywhere, find out who's been putting the files up, etc. So that's awesome. Not that it's a visually beautiful graphic server interface, but I'll accept what they've given me. All right, do name the PDF in a certain order. Make sure it has your last name, the name of the project, .pdf. Here's the focus principles, things we've been talking about. A grid, I'll go into that a little bit more later. Hierarchy, visual stepping stones, and color schemes. Here I've made a video to introduce you to character styles and paragraph styles. I think it's very important that you watch this because this is going to be over 50 pages, 40 pages, something like that. And if you did this all manually, it would just take you forever. But if you master character styles and paragraph styles, you could do this in 50 pages in 15 minutes. And that's pretty awesome. That's the power of using InDesign as your tool that you're really a master of. So again, you got student examples. You have a template that you can choose to use. You do need it for the text. And here's the concept sheet. Concept sheet is that file where you do your sketches and you'll write about the target market. And then this is a placeholder right now. The video I'm making right now is going to go here, and it will be the one to introduce this project. So I hope I covered everything. If there's questions, don't worry. We're going to meet together in person. This is just to help the ball start rolling, so we're not wasting any time. We're just moving forward on these projects. Okay? And I think you have till like October 2nd on this. All right. Thanks.